All right, so I'm feeling inspired today, so I'm gonna make another video. This time I'm gonna make it on some Crash Bros. These two are famous Crash Bros right here. They got decent followings. And they have consistently been calling for housing market crash. And they've been consistently wrong. So what I'm gonna do is do a review of their video. Now I made some comments on this chap's YouTube channel, and he didn't seem to like that very much. But I guess the truth hurts, you know what I mean? So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and listen to this video and see if I can add my 2 cents. So let's go ahead and get started on that.
One of the biggest problems right now for people in this housing market is people are just tired of waiting, okay? You have people that have been waiting on the sidelines to buy a home for maybe a year, maybe longer.
Just so you guys know, if you guys forgot, back in 2020, 2021, the housing prices pretty much shot up insanely fast. It was like month to month, every month, the housing market was higher than it was before. And a lot of people ran out to buy houses real fast because the interest rates went down. Well, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, it's going to crash, so I'm going to wait till it crashes and then I'm going to buy. Well, as we all know, it didn't crash. It just went up, and then when they raised the interest rates, it flatlined and started going sideways. So I guess these two were in the crew that didn't buy. So there's a lot of people out there that are wanting a housing market crash to happen so then they can go buy a house because they're having to rent now. Because as we all know, you don't have a choice. You're either going to rent or you're going to buy. I mean, I guess you could live with mommy and daddy, but who the hell wants to do that? So, this is something that people need. And a lot of people are upset because they can't afford to buy a house. But I hate to break it to you guys. Real estate it's not going to crash like everybody said, well, like the Crash Bros say it will. So, and I'm going to get into why.
And they're just tired of waiting. And so today I have a very special guest on the channel. I have Travis from Real Estate Mindset here. He's going to help us kind of navigate this because he personally is actually in this situation. So I want you guys to hear this from somebody else who's actually going through this, and maybe it'll shine some light on the situation and help you figure out if you should continue renting, if you should maybe buy a house now, what should you do? So Travis, thanks for being on the channel, man. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, man, of course. And you guys, we're going to try to get through this video. It is raining right now. It's like Cat 1 hurricane winds. But I wanted to tell you guys a little bit of my background so you know what qualifies me to even talk about this situation. Now, during the 2009 Great Financial Crisis, I myself, unfortunately, and this was as a result of my bad decisions, I had a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, a repo, and a tax lien as a result of the foreclosure for over $100,000. That followed me around for 9 years because the statute of limitations was extended as a result of the bankruptcy. But here's the thing, you guys. Fast forward to today, I've been a realtor for about 12, 13 years. I've been a loan officer for 21 years, and I teach realtors continuing education. So I'm in real estate all the time, and I absolutely love it. Now, having said that, I've personally decided to convert my primary residence into a rental. I have a 2.5% on that house. Now, instead of me repurchasing, I decided to
This is hilarious. All right. So he has a primary residence that he owns, and now he's going to then rent that out to then go and rent. So he's renting out his primary residence to then go rent. What he's doing is part of the problem because he didn't sell his house. There's less houses on the market. It's like unbelievable. It's like, oh no, it's like, I'm going to do this, but everybody else, they need to sell theirs. They need to put theirs on the market, right? Good for thee, not for me, right? Is that how it works?
Sit out the toxic housing market and rent. And I just wanted to encourage, the people that are doing that same thing, that are renting, that are waiting this out, stay encouraged, stay patient, and keep following the data. I've made offers in 2021, 2022, and 2023, but the thing is, Michael, I will not settle on the biggest transaction of my life. I am not rich.
All right, okay, so you're saying you're not rich, you're saying you won't settle, and you're saying the prices are too high, I take it. Well, my question is, why don't you sell the house that you own? Why are you renting it out? Why fuck around renting it out? Sell it, because it's going to crash. So why not sell that? Wouldn't you make way more money if you did that? Huh? I mean, call me crazy, but that makes more sense to me. But you're not doing that. Now, why is that? Why are you holding on to a property when you know the market's going to crash? Please explain.
I don't have the option to make a bad decision. And so as I'm renting, I'm getting paid to rent, man. You know, I probably make, just from the inflation, $600 to $700 per month, you know, renting. Not to mention it's 52% more expensive right now to own. And
that's bullshit. It is not 52% more expensive to own. What rent? Where did you go? Where are you renting? In the hood? I mean, are you like renting like a studio and you're renting out the house you own that's like a 5-bedroom, 4,000 square foot home? Is that? Yeah, I mean, I guess there it would be. Rents are super high. Like what drugs did you smoke?
And that's on top of the fact that you need a, you know, $70,000, $80,000 down payment.
So wait, let's back this up for a second. You said you're making $600, $700 a month by renting. Explain to everybody what you mean by that and how you're making that money as a renter and not owning a home.
Yes, okay, so I've taken my down payment. So I have my down payment saved. You guys, I am ready to pounce. I'm ready to close tomorrow. If I find the home of my dreams tomorrow, I'm gonna make an offer and hopefully close. But I've taken my down payment, and instead of like locking it up for long term, I've invested almost my entire down payment in 1 month treasuries. So my 1 month treasuries for my down payment is yielding me anywhere from about $350 to $400. And I'm not doing anything, Michael. I just set it up automatically through Treasury Direct. So when the asset matures, it just reinvests.
Right.
And it's just automatic. But on top of that, brother, have you seen the interest rates on these credit cards? Oh my gosh. So what I'm doing is on any purchases that I make through Amazon, I don't know if you've ever heard of Amazon, right? Like the entire nation shops on Amazon. I got a brand new Amazon credit card where I'm getting 5% cash back. Now, my main credit card that I've switched to, that I put all of my purchasing on, gives me a minimum of 2% cash back. Now, the key is this, and here's where this could be a dangerous game if you're not responsible. The key is to pay the balance off of your credit card prior to it billing, not after it bills, you guys. If you wait till after it bills, you got finance charges.
All right, I want to stop him right here. He says that he's getting 5% back on an Amazon credit card. Hey, that sounds great. The only problem is you have to buy what you're buying off Amazon. People don't buy groceries, rent, gas, cell phone, you know, bills and stuff like normal shit. People buy consumer goods off Amazon. So he's spending more money on consumer goods in order to get that cash back. You're not smart, bro. Think about it. If he was taking the money that he was spending at Amazon and then investing it in some other vehicle, that would be smart. Not getting some cashback credit card that you're going to have to spend. How many thousands of dollars are you spending on consumer goods at Amazon? Think about it. Come on, man. Do the math.
You can get other fees like that. The key is before the credit card bill. So I never pay finance charges, Michael, and I cash in probably $300 to $400 a month just on my credit cards. And again, I'm not.
All right, okay, so he cashes $300 to $400 a month by buying consumer goods at Amazon. Great. You just gave Jeff Bozo a hell of a lot of money for that $300. Oh my God.
Not paying finance charges because I'm not staying in debt, right?
That's great. Yeah, that's a lot of extra money to bring in every month from not buying a home.
Smart.
So Travis, I think
what did you spend? What did you spend at Amazon? What are you buying? Is it, you know, you got all those boxes? What the hell? How many? What the hell are you buying at Amazon to have that much a month, monthly? Oh.
One of the problems that a lot of people are facing right now when it comes to, you know, should I buy or should I continue renting is, you know, sometimes it's not all just like dollars and cents. Sometimes it's like psychological, and people are just kind of tired of waiting. And maybe
that's because people need houses for more than just an investment. They need them to live in. The house you live in dictates where your kids go to school. The house you live in dictates how much room you have. You want to share a bathroom? You want to have, waiting in line for shit? No, you want to have your own private shit, right? That's what everybody wants. American dream, right? So yeah, no, people aren't ever going to stop wanting houses. That's guaranteed. Unless maybe in the distant future we put people's brains in jars.
Maybe you can kind of speak to that a little bit, because you're probably in the same situation. I'm sure you probably wish you could find the right house right now at the right price, but you can't. and that's keeping you on the sidelines. And I think that's something a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah.
What's the right price? What's the right price? You waiting for pre-COVID prices? Are you wait? Is that what you're waiting for? You're gonna keep waiting. You're gonna wait. You're not gonna get anything. Like, I mean, how low this crash? What do you think is gonna happen? And I'm gonna let you guys know. I was around for 08. The prices they went down, but the houses that were available at the low price, they were hard to get because they were all short sales. There were bidding wars on those. That's one thing right there. And second of all, they didn't go down to like 1965 prices. The longer it takes, the more time that it takes from when the houses shot up to when it actually will crash, if it's going to, the less the crash is going to be, because people start getting paid more money. Inflation catches up. People's salaries and the pay starts catching up to inflation. That's why prices have never gone back down to 1960s, 1970s, or even 1980s.
Battle that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, you know, I have anxiety, I get depressed, you know, I feel like, oh, I'm not a great father, I'm not a great husband, because the American dream is home ownership and I'm renting right now. So what I've done is I've basically I put my attention and my efforts into things that enhance me, right? So instead of wallowing on, oh my gosh, I missed out on an opportunity, you know, things like that, you know, I'm increasing my purchasing power, Michael. My credit is in the 800s. I have no consumer debt. I'm saving a tremendous amount of money. And the biggest thing of all is I'm passing on my knowledge to other people.
How are you saving a bunch of money? I want to know, where do you live? Where do you rent? Where do you rent compared to where your house is? I want to know that. How are you able to save all this money? That's what I want to know. I mean, are your kids like, what school do they go to? Do they have metal detectors before they go into school? They got to go through metal detectors? Is their teacher, what is it, Michelle Pfeiffer, you know, Coolio and all that? Mr. Clark, right? You got Morgan Freeman as the principal. Is that how it goes?
So instead of me, again, wallowing, dude, we're in an age right now where all you need to do to grow and to learn is decide you want to grow and learn, man. That's it. If you make a decision to grow and learn, look at what's on YouTube. YouTube is a school.
Look at it.
You guys, YouTube is a school. There's so much information that's free. And don't think because it's just free, it's bad information. My home buying class is free, but I put 2 decades of my
How do you have a home buying class? You only bought one house. You only have one house. How do you have a home buying class? You're not doing it. Unbelievable. What makes you an authority? You should be buying up. There's deals right now. If you knew how to look, just so you know, I'm gonna let everybody know right now. Deals are out there as far as houses are concerned, because there aren't a lot of people selling, but the people who are, they're exposed. Their chances are they're in a bad situation where they got to move, or they're going through a divorce or foreclosure. And you can look that shit up going on the public records. He should be buying houses left and right. He should be able to find those deals. Because you can find the distressed properties now. They're not mixed in a sea of properties. They're all exposed because they're the only ones they're dumb enough to sell right now. So how do you have a class on how to buy houses? Unbelievable.
Heart and soul on giving you information that I felt consumers needed to know. So if you're wallowing, if you're stressed, just learn more.
These guys have been talking about a housing crash for years. And every new year, it's the next year. It's the next year. It's the next year. It's the next year. Just so you guys know. And I'm picking on these two guys because they've got a large following. They're getting a lot of people to do what they say and drink their Kool-Aid. Which, look in the comments. It's incredible.
Empower yourself. Love your family. Go outside and enjoy the hurricane winds and the rain.
What's
and
that got to do with
all
buying
this
a
stuff.
house?
But one thing, and I see this happening, Michael. I see this happening. Don't give up hope. Do not give up hope, you guys. We're in a society right now where people profit off of consumers that are giving up hope. And by what I mean is, Michael, is giving up hope like, who cares about my credit? Who cares about saving money? I'm never going to be a homeowner, so let's go out to eat. Let's go out to the movies. Let's buy purses and wallets and shoes, and let's stop trying to get ahead of this. If you do that, guys, you're going to be, in my opinion, and I know we don't have a fortune teller, we're not fortune tellers, but you're going to join the rat race. You're going to join the flock of birds. And we want to differentiate ourselves from consumers that are making bad decisions. That's how we win. We win by going against the grain. And
you win by accumulating assets. Assets. Income producing assets. That is how you win. Not by waiting around thinking about buying them, hoping you can get your ass in there and do it. Assets must be acquired. There's no wealthy person out there that doesn't own assets. That doesn't exist. Nobody just holds a bunch of cash. They own assets.
It's not hard to tell, Michael, that you shouldn't be living on credit card debt, right? We shouldn't be spending recklessly. We're heading into a recession.
What does that got to do with the
Everyone's
market?
warning about unemployment, but then the other people are saying everything is great. So when there are times like this with such a divide of opinion and certainty, generally, my God, man, this wind. Generally, but generally that means something's broken. Something's wrong. And like I said, man, I can't make a bad decision here, Michael. So I'll rent. And that's perfectly okay, okay? You know, it's perfectly okay.
Yeah, I mean, also,
you'll rent.
I'm assuming that in your area where you live.
So you're going to rent, but then you have a home buying class. Why don't you have a home renting class?
You're probably already seeing the inventory tick up. You're probably already seeing the prices starting to come down, and that starts to make it easier to wait.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what would you say to somebody who's in the opposite situation?
How does it make it easier to wait? People need housing, like, first of all, they keep saying, oh, taxes and insurance, like that's not your problem. That is your problem, because you're goddamn right. If you're renting somewhere and the taxes and insurance go up on the property, you're goddamn right. You're getting a rent increase next time you got to renew. So unless you guys like moving every year, which I think sucks ass, I hate moving. Yeah, it is your problem. It is your problem.
Like say you live somewhere where prices are still going up and inventory is still really low. Do you think they should continue waiting and keep renting still?
I think people in metro areas like that, it's even more important to stay grounded because everything around you is ungrounded. Everything around you has no fundamentals. And honestly, okay, like what Michael was saying, you guys, and this is why I keep trying to push people to the data. Do the data research on your own.
What data have you two idiots been looking at? All the data I've seen is that you guys said there was a crash that was going to happen, and it hasn't happened. It keeps not happening. And the goalpost keeps getting moved further out. And the more that gets moved out, now interest rates are starting to come down. Like, I love it. Like, these guys mentioned, it's like, oh, we're going to wait for the interest rates to come down, and then the prices are going to go down, and they're going to be able to get this affordable house, and everything's going to be great. It don't work like that. The second interest rates start coming down, I mean, they've already started coming down a little bit. Like, they were at like 8% something. Now they're like 6 something. They go down any further, the prices, you bet your ass, are going to start going right back up. You'll be chasing the price right back up, just like in 2020, 2021.
Real estate
prices don't stand still.
It's about subdivision. In my area of Houston, I can find properties, existing homes, not new construction, existing homes, Michael, that have 2021 values.
Wow.
Then why aren't you buying them? Hello? You just said you're waiting to find your deal and so you're going to get 2020, 2021 prices. Why aren't you buying them? There you go. There's your house. Great. Go get it. Like, what are you waiting for? Maybe is it because you're finding prices? Those prices are for houses that are under some toxic waste dump or some shit like that, or like near a chemical waste plant. I mean, are you kidding me?
Because I'm using the data now. Most of it is not, right? But I can find that right now. Plus, new construction in my area is exploding. Again, I can find homes with 2021 prices, interest rates 4.5% right now.
Okay, you get a 4.5% interest rate. All right. Well, then what are you waiting for? So you're telling other people to buy? I don't understand. Like, what are you saying? So you can find the deal, but you won't do anything about it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's, you know what I mean? That's about as useless as a poopy flavored lollipop.
Oh, but I understand in my area, I'm heavy in construction. The construction spreading to existing, but in areas like Anaheim, in areas like San Diego, I mean, the problem there, guys, is that's a result of decades of propping up prices.
Yeah, because people want to live in a climate that's nice. People want to be in California dream. I mean, that's just how it is. That's some of the most expensive real estate in the world You guys ever seen Superman the movie?
Decades of capitalism, just decades of overvaluation. And in those areas, you know, you're really gonna, you know, in my opinion anyways, in order for you guys to see more affordable places to live, we're gonna need more existing homes to come on the market. And I think that happens, again, as the interest rates continue to go down and the golden handcuff effect gets removed, because the question...
Right, but then the people who sell, they're going to go, what are they going to do? They're going to go, you think they're going to sell and then rent? No. The people that these golden handcuffs are going to come off, they're going to move up. They're going to want to move up and get a better house. So they're still going to take, okay, that's a swap. They're not going to just sell their house and then be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to rent. Oh, I mean, what are you, an idiot?
Question is, okay, where'd all the inventory go, right? The bull's thing is, we have low inventory, you guys.
The inventory went because people bought houses in 2020, 2021, and there's baby boomers out there that have had houses since the freaking 70s and 80s, and they're not trying to sell, and no one wants to give up their good interest rate. That is where the inventory went. Everybody wants the sexy interest rate. They have a ton of equity in their houses, and they're not gonna eat that. Back in 08, people sold for less than the value, but they did short sales. They didn't eat it, and they had like zero down. The people who bought houses during this last thing back in 2020, 2021, they put down huge down payments. Nobody got a house with nothing down during that big boom that happened right during COVID. No, nobody did that. People don't walk from money. They're not going to walk from like $100,000 that they put down in order to get the house. They're not going to do that.
Guys, it's just supply and demand. Well, where'd it go? Did it just disappear? No, it didn't disappear. People are on the sidelines wanting to sell as well. So again, but the other thing is
right,
this.
But if they sell, they're going to want to do what? Buy another one.
And we have to be realistic. You said this on, earlier today, which was, it really depends on your situation.
Yes.
If I say Hollywood, okay, say Hollywood crashes in prices, Hollywood goes down, say 50%, interest rates drop to 4.5%.
Okay. Yeah,
I still can't afford that. I still can't afford to live in Hollywood.
All right, well, you don't make enough money. Just because you can't afford something doesn't mean other people can't. And it's like, especially in Florida, every baby boomer that has been working his whole life, saved, investing in the markets, has been doing all that shit, had his eyeball on Florida, California, because they all want to move there and, snowbird, have nice weather, have their kids come down and visit them, grandkids and all that. They have the money. Just because you don't have the money, that don't mean other people don't. It's too expensive for you. It ain't too expensive for everyone.
So you really have to also take a deep look on the area that you're looking in, because not all areas are going to come down to a level of affordability.
And this guy right here, he's always walking around in Miami like, oh, I can't believe these prices are high. Yeah, because everybody wants to live on the ocean, near the beach, in Miami Beach. That's like a hot spot. Go down to Flint, Michigan. You'll see all sorts of cheap, affordable housing. I promise you. But no one wants to live in Flint, Michigan.
That most people are comfortable with. And that is why the spending habits, the saving habits, how you're living your life is so important, because in a normal housing market,
every month.
I mean, it's a slam dunk for the most part, owning a house.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, Travis. And I think that if you live in an area, like Travis said, and even if prices did crash, say it came down by 30%, which by my definition would definitely be a crash. Even 20% would be a crash. However, if that happens, and you look at where interest rates are at right now and prices came down by that much, and you still couldn't afford to buy a house, or it would still be cheaper to rent, then maybe it still does make sense to continue renting. And that's why you need to crunch those numbers for yourself. And it's something that a lot of people just don't do. They look at what the talking heads on TV are saying. Like, for example, this week, Barbara Corcoran just came out again telling people, listen, if you don't buy right now, then you're a fool.
Yeah, well, guess what? If interest rates come down, the prices are going to start going back up, because there's always going to be people wanting houses. And also, people are starting to get paid more money. That's the last thing. With inflation, consumer goods are the first thing. Second, the last thing that gets a raise is actually people. And over the years, people start getting raises. They're going to start earning more money, and the affordability is going to start to come closer to them. That's if things stay the same. If they don't, if interest rates go down, then more people are going to be able to afford. You're fighting the next guy with your dollars to get a house. Everybody wants it. A house is always a good thing to have. All right. Like, that's an asset. And it's also something that you can lock in your price. If you stay there for years and years and years, that's when you really save money. I got a house that my mortgage is like nothing because I've had it for freaking 10 years.
Basically, what she's telling people.
And I didn't hear, again, she came out and said that?
Again, she said that because she says the same thing. You know, her argument is constantly the same, which is that when interest rates come down, that people are going to rush back into the market.
Yeah.
However, if we look at what's happening right now with new construction, we can see that that is actually not true, guys, because new construction properties are currently offering people 5% interest rates, sometimes even less in certain cases, and people aren't rushing in to buy. In fact, the inventory is still going up and the prices are still going down, okay?
Where?
Yep.
And that's something that we could very well see happen on the existing home market, and the only reason it hasn't happened yet is because of inventory. That's the base case.
Yeah, well, okay, here's the thing. When it comes to existing home prices, existing homes are usually in areas that are hot. Like, here's the thing. Most areas have already been built up. Like all like the beachfront property, all the areas that people want to live, that is all built up. All you're going to get is you're going to get a better location with an existing home. So the new homes are, you know, they got to build in areas that aren't developed or that people don't necessarily want to live in. It's more than just the house. It's the location. What are the three main things with the house? Location, location, location. Say it with me now.
Case for looking at inventory is going to be exploding. You want to be jumping into a home sale? You want to be a buyer right now when, you know, the inventory in your area could be on the verge of continuing to tick up? Because right now, if you look at any inventory chart, inventory throughout the United States is continuing to tick up little by little right now into the winter months, which is something that we really never seen happen before. And so what do you think is going to happen with that, Travis? Because, you know, we're seeing inventory up right now at a time of year when it always goes down, like always. And then right around the corner, we have the spring selling season where inventory always skyrockets.
Yes.
So what do you think is going to happen over the next few months with that?
Well, you know, I think that at least over the next few months, it's really going to depend on what the Federal Reserve does next with interest rates and what type of economic turmoil there is. Obviously, we have a complete meltdown in the commercial financing department. I mean, total meltdown, complete catastrophe. So we still have that playing out, Michael. We still have the STR bans playing out, which is the short-term rentals. All of that stuff is playing out. However, you know, in regards to the interest rates, here's the thing, you know, and we talked about this, drop the rates to 5.5%. Let's see all these buyers. We already know the sellers are going to come out. It's called the golden handcuff effect. But, you know, in my opinion, a lot of the buyers that would normally have come out.
Oh, the sellers are going to come out. So I see. So in this scenario, you think that all these people are just going to sell their houses and then not buy another one. They're just going to just sell and then be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to rent. No, they're going to buy another house. Oh my God.
Already purchased. The fear of missing out. I mean, there was.
And the reason they're going to buy another house is it wouldn't matter. That wouldn't matter if they're going to buy another house because why? Because they can get that because the whole reason they're going to sell their house now is to be able to buy another one because the interest rates are going to be low and now they can afford a new house. So that's why that matters. I mean, it's a stalemate. It's like, oh, I'm going to take this and move it over here. It's like, that doesn't equal more. That's just, you just rotated a tire. That's all you did.
There's a beast rebound this year. So I don't think that the interest rates going down, you know, necessarily, unless everyone, you know, makes more money, unless wages keep going up, I don't think that's going to have a profound effect like it did this year. And it did have a profound effect this year. There was still that FUMA, the fear of missing out there, people on the sidelines. So the slightest decrease in rates, people are like, oh, people rushed out. But the thing is we're at what, a 15-year low of sales transactions. So what, people ran out. The sales are down, it's crashing.
Sales are crashing, but that doesn't mean price is crashing. Here's the thing. Just because prices go up, did you think that like there's some natural order of things that are going to bring them back down? I hate to break it to you guys, but there could come a time where like middle-class Americans, they don't own property. That could happen. Like everybody's like, oh, well, what do you mean? I'm middle class. I should be able to get a house. Can't afford it. Yeah, well, guess what? Shit changes. Things change. They're not making any more of it. So it's like unbelievable. Yeah, you're goddamn right. If you're in a situation to buy real estate, hell yeah, I'd do it. What I would do is I'd try to find some distressed property that I could go in and lowball him to see if I could pry it out of his hands. Or I'd go in to try to grab some property that needed some work, and I'd use my hands like I did back in one of my rentals that I went in, bought it, and I lived in it and fixed it up while I lived in it. That's what you do. So then you're able to live in it and also build equity. Because I don't care. People who bought during the height of the boom in 2008, they and held on, they're ahead right now. Even though, oh my God, well, it crashed afterwards. Didn't matter, because enough time goes by, it's going to keep going up. Because people always need housing. These people are idiots. And the followers are bigger idiots. All the people who follow these two guys, you guys are idiots. I'm straight up saying right now. And I will revisit this just like I did before. I made a video saying there wasn't going to be a crash over a year ago. I was right. And I got berated by all these people. Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, well, who's right and who's wrong? The guy with the mask, that's who. Don't forget to hit, like, and subscribe. Crusader out.